where the memories stay, past the fields and fences worn by yesterday. Pull up a chair, friend, come along with me. There's a story waiting round every old oak tree. Rusty's Backroad stories, where the miles roll by, with a little bit of laughter and a tear in your eye. So settle in close and let the memories flow. Rusty's Backroad stories, down the roads we know. You're listening to Rusty's Backroad stories.
Well, friend, have you ever found something that completely changed your life, only to realize it wasn't worth a dime? Tonight's story starts with an old cigar box, hidden beneath the floorboards of a forgotten cabin deep in the hills. Inside was a faded map, a brass compass, and one sentence written in shaky handwriting. If you're looking for gold, you've already missed the treasure. Now, I'd be lying if I told you that wouldn't make a man's curiosity kick into high gear. This is the treasure nobody stole. Everyone in Black Oak County grew up hearing stories about Jacob Mercer. Some called him an eccentric, others called him a genius. Kids simply called him the Mountain Man. Jacob had lived alone in a tiny log cabin overlooking Eagle Ridge for nearly 50 years. People said he'd discovered gold. Others swore he'd hidden stacks of cash somewhere in the mountains. Some even claimed he had buried Civil War treasure. Nobody knew the truth. Jacob never talked much. He'd ride into town once a month in his old pickup, buy coffee, beans, dog food, then disappear back into the hills. When Jacob passed away at 91, the rumors exploded. Treasure hunters came from 3 states away. Metal detectors buzzed across his property. People dug holes everywhere. Nothing, not a single coin, not a single gold bar. Nothing. The sheriff finally locked the property until Jacob's will could be settled. Among the people attending the reading of the will was Jacob's only grandson, 28-year-old Ben Mercer. Ben hadn't spoken to his grandfather in nearly 15 years. Life had gotten busy. Work, bills, cities, excuses. The lawyer handed Ben a small wooden box. Inside was an old compass, a folded map, and a key. There was only one note. "Meet me where the road ends." Ben frowned. That was it. No explanation. No inheritance. Just a map. The map led him high into the mountains to Jacob's abandoned cabin. The key unlocked an old chest beneath the fireplace. Ben's heart raced. "This is it," he whispered. He slowly opened the lid. Inside, no money, no jewels, no gold, just 12 envelopes, each one marked with a year: 1987, 1988, 1989, 1992, 2008. One for nearly every major moment of Ben's life. Confused, he opened the first envelope. Inside was a handwritten letter. "Today you were born. I held you before anyone else did. You wrapped your tiny hand around my finger. I've never felt richer." Ben opened another. "Today you caught your first fish. You were more excited than I was." Another. "You told me you wanted to be an astronaut. I didn't have the heart to tell you I'd miss you if you reached the stars." Another. "Today your grandmother passed away. You were too young to understand why I cried while watching you play with your toy trucks." One after another. The letters unfolded an entire lifetime. Jacob had written them after every important day they'd shared together. Not because Ben would read them soon, because he hoped one day he would. At the bottom of the chest rested one final envelope. It simply read, "Open last." Ben took a deep breath. Inside was one final letter. "If you're reading this, then I'm gone. The town thinks I buried treasure. They're right. But it isn't buried in the ground. It's buried in memories. Money gets spent. Gold gets stolen. Land changes hands. But nobody can steal the moments that made us who we are. If I leave you anything, let it be this. Don't wait until somebody's funeral to realize they were your greatest treasure. Go make memories while the people you love are still here. That's the only fortune worth chasing." Ben sat alone in the cabin for hours. By sunset, he wasn't looking for treasure anymore. He'd already found it. The next morning, Ben returned to town carrying only the box of letters. The reporters were waiting. "Did you find the treasure?" Ben smiled. "I found something worth a whole lot more." The newspapers laughed. People assumed he was protecting a fortune. But months later, something remarkable happened. Ben restored his grandfather's cabin, not as a museum, not as a tourist attraction. He called it the Memory House. Families could stay there for free if they agreed to one rule: no televisions, no Wi-Fi, no phones, just conversations, campfires, fishing, board games, front porch swings, and time together. At first, people thought it was a strange idea. Then reservations filled up months in advance. Children met their grandparents without staring at screens. Parents watched sunsets instead of notifications. Brothers forgave brothers. Old friends reunited. Marriages found their spark again. And on the fireplace mantel sat Jacob's old compass. Beside it was a wooden sign. "The greatest treasures are the people sitting beside you." You know, friend, most of us spend our lives chasing things we can't keep. A little more money, a newer truck, a bigger house. There's nothing wrong with working hard. But someday, someone else will own your truck. Someone else will live in your house. Someone else will spend your money. The only thing that truly belongs to you are the memories you've made and the love you've left behind. If somebody you care about crossed your mind while listening tonight, don't wait. Call them. Visit them. Take the trip. Tell the story. Build the memory. Because the richest people I know aren't the ones with the biggest bank accounts. They're the ones with the fullest hearts. Well, friend, the road always gives us another mile, but it never promises another tomorrow. So before you go chasing treasure, take a look around. You just might discover you've been surrounded by it all along. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, your heart open, and remember, every back road has a story.